There are a lot of legitimate concerns and questions around the security of AI models that are being used in environments like in a product security program. There's a lot of legitimate questions and concerns around privacy um, and data provenance and governance in especially in cloud-based AI systems. I think that what we see is the governance of data, the security of data around AI tools is very similar to the transition that everyone made from running all of their software on-prem to running software in the cloud. And you get to a point where you start to trust certain providers. You start to have certain control and visibility over your own data. You have license agreements and data protection agreements in place that govern that, that gives you as the user contractual guarantees around what is and is not happening to your data. And since we've done that with the cloud, I think that the transition into sharing certain data with LLMs is happening a lot faster in the world. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone is going to be comfortable with putting their own IP into an LLM, putting critical security data, especially with respect to critical infrastructure, into an LLM. It's again, very similar to what we've had to do with cloud. There's, if you look at the electric utility sector, for example, there's a lot of data that is not allowed to go into the cloud today. For this exact reason, the risk is too high. And so likely that data will never go into an LLM either, or no time soon. For most data though, if you're comfortable putting it into a cloud environment, likely I think most organizations are going to become more comfortable putting it into an LLM as long as they understand what LLM it's going into, where that LLM is hosted, what sort of contractual guarantees you're making around the privacy of their data and the control of their data and their ability to delete it and all of those things that we're used to in a cloud environment. So there are also interesting opportunities where you can take an LLM and run it locally so you don't have to push your data into the cloud. And that's where I think we might be able to overcome some of the challenges we've had with traditional kind of binary decisions around, do I put my data in the cloud or not? I don't think that's going to be the case with LLMs. We're seeing dramatic advancements in LLMs that can run in a much smaller footprint, that can run on-prem. So it's quite likely that we will see more on-prem LLMs doing work that is very critical because it can still provide the same benefits that we've been talking about all along, where an LLM can come in and triage vulnerabilities, it can pull together disparate sources of information. And when you look at critical infrastructure, when you look at OT networks, for example, and the talent gap that we've been talking about with product security, it's even more severe there. There are fewer people to manage all of the security work that needs to be done, and LLMs are a very legitimate way to help those teams scale as long as they can meet the security requirements that those teams have.